The technology is going to be pushing the boundary of looking identical or near identical to traditional film very, very soon.
Staircase Studio AI, a new film, television, and gaming studio, is aiming to produce more than 30 projects for Hollywood in the next 3 to 4 years with tiny budgets.
The first film I believe that's coming out is The Woman with Red Hair, and I've seen a few minutes of it. It looks extremely well done. But what was interesting to me is that you are using actors. There are still actors involved with this. So explain what an AI film really is.
At Staircase Studios, we really believe that having a human in the loop is an important art aspect for AI filmmaking. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do as far as pressing a button and generating an image or pressing a button and generating a video. But some of the best films in the AI space that people are working on have real level of artistry in them. And I think when you bring in actors to do a performance, we're going to get that similar kind of thing. So we kind of want to work with the artists that are out there, whether these are the directors, people who are really great using the AI tools, to the actors that give performances. We believe that these new tools it's really what they are. They're just new tools. And it's like before we had CGI, before that we had cameras, and we see this more of as an addition to what's out there as opposed to something that's going to replace it. So yeah, we're working with a lot of really great talent, and we're excited to bring a bunch of new films with this new medium.
Yeah, I think I'd seen one of your colleagues basically explain this as complementing what's out there, which is interesting because obviously the fear is that everyone is going to be replaced. So what you're doing now, it does seem like it's a complement because you're still working with actors. Down the road though, do you think AI is going to be so good that we're not even going to need actors?
I think what's going to happen in 5 years or 10 years is really anyone's guess. So all we can really focus on is what we can do right now. And the best level of artistry is working with artists. And I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon.
To be the best moving forward, are you going to need to understand how to integrate AI?
I think people in the film industry are already trying to do this, not as really a replacement, but just how do we improve our stories and tell them better and more efficiently. But what we're trying to do is kind of pushing the boundaries on the other side. Well, can we do the entire film for a lot cheaper, under $500,000, for example, and then engage scripts that otherwise wouldn't have been able to have been made. I really think that the best stuff, the best stories is going to come from the artists. It's going to come from the really good writers, the really good directors. And these are just tools that empower those people as opposed to replace them.
So you're saying you're trying to push the boundaries and you are head of AI filmmaking. So what does it mean for a film to be AI? Because you are still using human actors.
Right now, the primary use for AI is going to be in the visuals. So as a very simple example, let's say instead of building a set in real life or building a set using tools like the drawings that someone would do for a traditional 2D movie or a 3D movie, we would use the AI tools to make those sets instead. But there's still an artist behind those deciding what those sets look like. So I think that the technology is going to be pushing the boundary of looking identical or near identical to traditional film very, very soon. 6 to 12 months from now, it's going to get pretty close to indistinguishable. It's going to look completely real. So you don't need the full set. You can do it all within a tool to build the set that looks real.
Certainly is going to change the industry if you are in set making or any of these different spaces.
You know, CG changed the way 2D films were made. This is going to change the way that traditional films are made. I don't think it's really a replacement. I think there's a place for the large budget films to exist. And so I see that these tools are going to simply allow for more storytelling as opposed to a replacement of the storytelling that already exists today. At the same time, we want to work with those actors that does respect their craft, that does respect everything that they've already put into this industry, not to replace them, but to work with them. We really just see this as a new tool to help us tell more stories and stories that just wouldn't necessarily get told otherwise. That's what The Woman with Red Hair is. It's a film that was referred to as the Blacklist, where there was a lot of people in Hollywood who wanted to be able to tell this story. things fell apart, just things didn't add up. And now here's a chance we can actually tell this really phenomenal story that otherwise would have fallen through the cracks. So we see it as an opportunity for artists to kind of bring this through as opposed to replacing it. I'm looking forward to that as someone who enjoys films, who enjoys working on films, to this future, because I think, at the end of the day, that's what we really care about is the end product, is it a good story? And I'm looking forward to that.